Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 7, entitled as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Sloka 7. mattaḥ parataраṁ nānyat kiñcid asti dhanañ-jaya mayi sarvam idaṁ protaṁ sūtre maṇi-gaṇā iva. Yesterday, we saw the first half of the sloka and we went through some important philosophical points. Today, we'll see them in detail along with the metaphor that Krishna is giving in the second half of this sloka. First, revisit the translation meaning of this sloka. The sloka says, O conqueror of wealth, that is Arjuna, dhanañ-jaya is none other than Arjuna's another name. There is no truth superior to me. Here me is Krishna. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, so is pointing to himself. Then he gives example or metaphor to establish that statement, that is, everything resting upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So that's the metaphor that Krishna gives, how he is superior than anything else that we can think of. Let's do a recap of what we saw previously. mattaḥ parataраṁ nānyat kiñcid asti dhanañ-jaya. There is nothing higher than me, myself. The non-sentient matter is apara and sentient beings are para, and I am neither of them. I am parataraṁ. I am greater than the sentient and non-sentient entities. I am the most exalted being, and there is no other entity equal or superior to me. That's the meaning of this first half of the sloka. The points that's been confirmed in this by stating this are that Krishna is Supreme Person. No one is higher than him. Krishna himself states here, parataraṁ na nānyat. Nānyat, there's nothing else superior, higher, greater than mattaḥ, himself. Second point, the Supreme Krishna, who has no one higher than him, how does he appear? That has been said here. He is with form, name and qualities, because Krishna is touching himself and saying, myself, I. There's no one greater than myself. Is touching his chest and saying. Vedas also have said the same thing. In Purusha Sukta, we see, Vedaham edam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasa parastat tamevam vidvan namrta iha bhavati nānyat panta vidyate yanaya. So it says that, Veda says this, that I know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only Supreme Being who is transcendental, who is luminous like the sun, and who is beyond the darkness. Only who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There's no way for liberation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Lord. That very clearly says that he has a beautiful form which is beyond the material realm or material understanding. Next, the third point. Obviously, by stating nothing is higher than him, then both sentient and non-sentient are under his control, as he is above them. Therefore, they are under his control. That implies by the statement. And the fourth additional point that we saw yesterday is Krishna is not only instrumental cause, but is also the material cause. We saw this with the two terms, nimitta karana, upadana karana. He is both the cause for both sentient being and non-sentient matters, as they are all his energies. Now, today, what we have to see, the left out questions or the points that we saw yesterday are how the Supreme Lord, Krishna, is one, not many. That means Brahman, the Supreme Lord, the Absolute Truth, is only one. There cannot be many. Number two, how is He the sustainer of everything? Number three, how He pervades everywhere. Number four, how is He the controller and director of everything? And lastly, how He is also a maintainer, because in the previous slokas we saw He is a creator and He is a destroyer. Everything comes from Him and everything goes back to Him. But is He a maintainer? That is also addressed here. These 5 questions will be understood by the metaphor that Krishna is giving in the second half of this 7th sloka. Mayi sarvam idaṁ protaṁ sūtre maṇi-gaṇā iva. Maṇi-gaṇā, mani means beads like pearls or any of those nature. Gems. Gaṇāha means a cluster or a group. Ghana. So maṇi-gaṇāha means a cluster of beads. Sūtre iva, the thread. Sūtre, like strung together on a thread. Like how the cluster of gems are strung together on a thread. Idaṁ sarvam, all the entities that we are seeing, whether it is the non-sentient or sentient, whether it is in its aggregated stage or in an individual stage, which we saw previously, that is samashti srishti or vyashti srishti, both mayi, on me, protaṁ, is strung. They always rest upon me. And this confirms that we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are not independent. So what Krishna says here is, mayi sarvam idaṁ protaṁ sūtre maṇi-gaṇā iva. Like a row of beads on a thread, the living entities and non-living entities, they are all strung on me. With this metaphor, let's try to get the answer for the 5 questions that we saw. How the Supreme Lord, now number 1, how the Supreme Lord is one, not many. We see in a necklace with beads, the thread is one, not many. One thread holds every beads together. Likewise, the Supreme Lord is one. There are no many Supreme Absolute Truth. Absolute Truth can only be one. And this one has to be seen with the previous part of the sloka. mattaḥ parataraṁ nānyat. Kiñcid asti dhanañ-jaya. There is nothing superior to me. So by combining these two things, we understand that the Supreme Lord cannot be more than one. It's just one, and that is Krishna. Number 2, How is he the sustainer of everything? Coming back to our metaphor, Krishna's metaphor, the thread sustains all the beads. Likewise, Krishna says, I sustain everything. If we just pull out the thread and the beads collapse, therefore it is Krishna who sustains all of us, like how the thread sustains the beads. Number 3, how he pervades everywhere. The thread pervades throughout the beads. The beads have small holes, and the thread passes through the holes of each and every bead. That means pervading through the beads to make the complete necklace. Likewise, the Supreme Lord pervades throughout the creation. He not only creates, he enters into each and every entity. He pervades everywhere. Now what we saw, the 3 questions are the similarities between the thread beads and Krishna and the living entities. Now, how this metaphor differs when it comes to Krishna are the one we are going to see in the next 2 questions. That is, how Krishna is the controller and director of everything, and how Krishna is the maintainer of everyone, every living entity. With the example that Krishna has given, that the thread pervades through the beads, does not mean that the thread becomes the Ishvara, the controller. Neither the thread is a director which can direct the beads what to do, what not to do. That power is not there. That Shakti is not there in the thread. But that's not the same case with Krishna. Krishna not only pervades into each and every living entity, he also controls. He also becomes the director of everything. Unlike the thread, which cannot control or direct. mattaḥ parataраṁ nānyat kiñcid asti dhanañ-jaya mayi sarvam idaṁ protaṁ sūtre maṇi-gaṇā iva. Namaste. Hare Krishna.